Yeah, Third String Podcast. You already know. Talking topics, all sorts. Always everything sports. Third String Podcast. Plenty dialogue and banter. Talking all teams. But we always repping for Atlanta. Come join the discussion. You don't want to miss it. Keep it entertaining. All facts, authentic. NBA to NFL. And everything in between. This is Third String Podcast. Welcome to the team. Let's go.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? We're the Third String Podcast, back with another jam-packed episode here today. I got an easy one here for you, Daryl. You and your household should be getting this. It's episode 52. Come on, don't let me down.
See, no, I was gonna go with Ray Lewis because that's
that's the easy.
But no, I don't really like Ray Lewis as a person. So mine is I don't like Ray Lewis. I'm going Khalil Mack, the dominant pass rusher in Chicago. Okay, I'm gonna go Khalil Mack. I just don't really care for Ray Lewis as a person, so I want to go. And you know, I'm married to a Baltimore.
That's why I'm like you and your family would get this easily.
Yeah, okay. So they attack me a lot. I don't care for him as a person, but so I'm gonna go Khalil Mack.
Okay. So. All right. Let's. Did I just see? Hold on. Can I make this full screen? This is a pause, obviously. Hold on. Mm-hmm. I can make the. Oh my! This is a game changer. Wow. It is full screen right now.
Oh really?
Usually it's just like the box, and I have everything. This is we're good. All right, here we go. Oh, this is awesome. All right, here we go. You were saying you didn't like him. Okay, all right, and I'll just carry on from. All right, no worries. I think Khalil Mack's a very good choice still, but hey, Ray Lewis as a player, was super legit. So
two-time champion.
You don't need to get into it. You don't need to get into your reasons why you dislike him. I understand. But with that being said, Daryl, what do you have for us today?
Speaking of champions, we want a big shout out to the Los Angeles Lakers, your pick, to win the NBA Finals. Of course, my pick didn't even make the Western Conference Finals with the Clippers. And
I think as a consensus, as Third String Podcast as a whole, we wanted the Clippers.
Yes.
But I always said, me as one half of the duo, I said either LA teams.
Right. Did you watch the game?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I was more interested.
It was a blowout.
It went exactly how I predicted it.
Oh, really? You thought it was going to be?
Remember, I picked Miami to win Game 5.
Yeah. Oh no, we both did. We both did.
Picked Miami to win Game 5, and after Game 5, they were gassed. You could tell Game 6.
Your boy Jimmy was like
he had nothing in the tank.
Yeah,
and it was a blowout, and I predicted it was going to be a blowout, and the Heat just didn't. And this is another reason why I knew it was going to be a blowout. Goran Dragic started Game 6.
Yeah,
the same thing. Do you remember a couple years ago when Orlando and LA went to the finals?
Skip to Mailou was supposed to start, but they put
Nelson.
Yeah,
but Jameer, he missed the entire second half of the season and all of the playoffs, but for the finals, they put Jameer Nelson in. I knew they were going to lose at that point because
I agree. That one still hurts me very bad because they didn't. He could have come off the bench, but when he started, you remember he hurt his leg, his knee or whatever, so he had no jump. Like he was couldn't. He was a very good 3-point shooter, but he couldn't shoot the three.
Right,
and he wasn't in sync with the team.
He wasn't the same player, and I knew from that point Orlando was going to lose because that continuity wasn't there. You should have started Skip to Mailou.
Yeah,
I don't know why they kind of did that, but
because your all-star starter was back. Boom, let's put him back. But that's all
that year. But Goran Dragic, I said the same thing. Goran Dragic came off the bench. He had no reason to start, especially when Miami Heat without him was very competitive against LA.
And who did they bench?
I think Duncan Robinson went to the bench.
Bro, he was on fire the game before.
Yeah. So, and then when I saw when Dragic was on the court, I'm like, that minutes that Hero or Duncan is taken away from them, or none.
Threes.
Was taken away from them.
Yeah.
I didn't understand why they put Dragic, but as soon as they put him in, I knew they were going to lose. It was a complete blowout. I never seen a team win.
Halftime, it was like, what is this?
Yeah, it was like almost 30 points.
It was 30. Yeah, it was like 28. It was like, what are we doing?
Yep. I never seen a team win without a third reliable scorer. Like literally, it's LeBron, AD, maybe Pope. Oh, you got Rondo, but he's not a scorer.
But Rondo, I think, came alive.
He came alive.
Game
6. He was hitting threes. Like something you've never seen him do.
He gets streaky every once in a while in big game situations or big series.
I'm saying every game, they don't know who the reliable third person is because Kuzma was supposed to be the third person, and Kuzma
never was the whole finals.
Yeah, he was so bad they benched him.
Yeah,
he was bad. He hurt his trade stock.
I'd still trade him.
I would still trade him, but his value was down.
Yeah,
like a lot.
Yeah.
But
nobody talked about him. He's over there again defending himself on social media, which, by the way, mind your business. Like, stop defending yourself, which I get you doing that, but he was irrelevant. Like, he was on the bench at the end, and nobody talked about him. No commentator, anybody.
They talked about him one time, and that's when he was on the court, and he took a bad shot, and everybody was like, "Get him out."
Wow.
That's all I saw on Twitter. Get him out of the game, and he can't defend. He wasn't he was supposed to be a great offensive player. He wasn't. Mm-hmm. So for them to do it, LeBron almost had a triple-double 2 games. Yes. But if you look at the stats, they were almost triple-double every game.
Every game. Mm-hmm.
Like this dude, and he was hitting it from 3 at game 6.
He took over that last game.
Like, I didn't even have to watch the MVP because if you didn't give it to LeBron, this is a sham.
This is his 4th.
This is
4 for 4.
Yep, 4 for 4. And this one was, it was still to me, I can argue that this was harder than any other finals because you don't have home court advantage here. You don't have intimidation of a fan.
Okay.
And remember the Bucks game? They played Orlando,
and they lost the first one.
Yeah, and Orlando said the reason we beat them is because Giannis usually when he dunks on you,
the crowd goes wild.
And with no crowd, it was like, all right, let's go to the next play.
Yeah.
And so that's why to me it was a little hard because it really is who's the better team. And I think team for team, he could have beat them. He could have beat them. Bam and Dragic got hurt in game 1.
Oh, in that sense, yes.
They could I'm just saying roster-wise, they could have beat them.
Yeah.
But game 6, they were gassed. Bam, like AD was eating Bam alive. LeBron was eating whoever was eating
everybody.
Yeah,
everybody.
It was too much. And then when you got Rondo hitting threes, it's over with.
Mm-hmm.
Over with.
Yeah. So shout out to them for winning. There's not much to say on it. Their path was pretty clear to at least make it. They made it. 2 big people on the Heat get hurt. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Jimmy Butler though. Dude balled out. Deserves a super extension, bonus, whatever, because he heart of a champion.
One thing I will add though is that it was a little awkward to see the confetti and when they.
Oh, it was. I actually turned, Daryl.
I stayed watching it because I wanted to see the MVP get announced, but I wanted to see how they did it, and it was just so awkward.
Okay, I saw that, and then one thing what you're talking about I want to touch on is when the coach speaks. Yeah, he looks into Frank Vogel looks into the crowd like this, and it's like, shout out to Laker Nation or whatever he said. He's like, oh, all this, and I'm like, there's nobody there.
Yeah, it was super weird.
Like I know you have the mentality, or I don't know if they told you to do that. To look up like as it like normal as if you're looking in the crowd, but nah, that wasn't like we know you're in a bubble.
Yeah, that was super weird. Also, it was cringy to see all the Laker fans outside of the stadium.
The actual
Staples Center.
Why do you say that?
Because it's just COVID, man. It's just like that's
in that sense,
yeah. That's just a little cringy. I know I said if the Braves win the World Series, I'll be out there. But
a little thing that I heard, I don't think they're doing any parade. They said they said when it's safe, we'll do something. So they might celebrate this. Let's just say a year from now, October, we're good. Yeah. Of next year. That's when they're gonna have a parade. Yeah. That's weird.
That's weird. It's just because the next guy championship
it will almost be there.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Just let it go.
I'm super happy. I see how happy Dwight Howard is. And telling you, the guys who haven't won before, this has been. I mean, it was dope to kind of see.
Yeah, it was. And hey, Dwight may be a Warrior.
Oh wow, he will.
Yeah, they're highly seeking him. Yes.
Oh, I mean, they need center help. He probably needs to even look at Boston because Boston needs center help as well. But if he becomes a Warrior,
I think that would be the best bet because it's JaVale McGee. Like, all I need you to do is defend and block shots. JaVale McGee on other teams would always do too much, but then he learned his role with the Warriors. Block shots and be a big body in the paint. That's
and I don't even need you to play a ton of minutes because you play the small ball lineup. At the end of the games, you won't be out on the court anyway.
No. Play your role. If everybody on a team can play your role, then that's how you win. That's how the Lakers won. Play your part.
Yes, that's how the Lakers won. Play your part.
Yeah. So
I mean, speaking of parades that should have happened, the 28-3 comeback. The Falcons.
Oh, okay. I was like, I deleted that from my mind, and thank you for bringing that back. Yeah,
the Falcons did what I didn't think they were gonna do in the season, and they did it.
You had no choice. But
after that Carolina game, even after the Carolina, and we're talking about the Atlanta Falcons fired Dan Quinn and Thomas Dimitroff. They bring up Raheem Morris, the defensive coordinator, as an interim coach.
And we are now 0-5.
We are 0-5, yes. And we lost to Carolina.
Which we should be 3-2.
Yes, Carolina on both of when we did the schedule, was an automatic win.
Yeah.
Carolina ate us alive. Robbie Anderson ate us alive. Miles Davis, soon as he always shrugged off the first tackle and was kept going. The defense is terrible. That's why it's kind of weird that Raheem Morris is defensive coordinator. I mean, it's the interim coach, but what was your feelings when they fired Dan Quinn and Thomas Dimitroff?
So I was shocked because I'm like, am I really seeing this happen? It should have happened after the 0-3 start I mentioned. But then you mentioned that we don't fire coaches. Arthur doesn't do that during the season.
It's the first time he's ever done it.
But then that showed me too, this firing, he didn't forget last year.
Nope.
He didn't forget the 0-6 start. Yep. He didn't forget that.
7 at one point.
Yeah, he didn't forget that at all. So he remembered, and he was like, it's going to happen again or worse. On the verge of how we look, it's going to be or worse. So 0-5 right now. It should have happened at least 0. He shouldn't even have been rehired for this year.
Right. No, that's absolutely true.
But since that he was, okay, cool. 0-3, he shouldn't have been here. 0-4, he definitely shouldn't have been here. Bro, 0-5. Yeah, I thought it was going to happen the next day on Monday. It happened that night. Bro, hear that out. It happened that night. That's insane. That means it was a home game. So, he's like, bro, meet me in my office right after this game. I'm sorry. Don't even shower. Don't go home. Like, you're gone.
Yeah.
And then Dimitroff, yes, I'm glad he should have been gone way before our Super Bowl year.
Yes. Thomas Dimitroff, and people want to say he drafted Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Deion Jones, Jake Matthews, but also he had a lot of misses. We had
more than makes.
Riley, Jalen Collins, Vic Beasley. If you want to count Tack McKinley as one. Isaiah Oliver, if you want to put him as he's had a lot of misses as well as remembering the super good ones.
Which might I add on this real quick? Don't mean to interrupt. I was looking at our draft picks from this last draft. Let me ask you something, and I'll give you the floor again. How many of them that we drafted this past season are actually doing anything, in your opinion?
2. AJ Terrell and Mikael Walker. That's it.
That's sad.
Yes, it's just 2.
That's sad.
Marlon Davidson has been hurt. Now he got COVID. And so Matt Hennessy I thought Matt Hennessy was going to start at right guard. It seems like he's just the heir apparent of Alex Mack.
Our punter.
Yes, our punter, yes. Jalen Hawkins looks like he might be I don't think he's in there as much. So I think it's only two.
It's supposed to have been people that were supposed to make an impact this year. Nope.
Yep. So this is how I felt. I thought that if he was going to get fired, it should have been fired after game 3, after the Chicago game.
Like I said, game 3.
Game 3. Because
you had 2 comebacks within 3 games.
Yeah. So game 1, you lost to Russell Wilson. No shame in that. Russell Wilson MVP candidate.
Game 1? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Game 2, that's been the Cowboys thing. Now, we all pissed about the Cowboys thing, but we give you a chance to clean up. After game 3, you do it again? So
was it? Oh, that was back-to-back games, wasn't it? Oh, my goodness.
It happened again. And then game 4, you lost to Green Bay. No shame in that.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Even though we looked like garbage as a whole.
Yeah.
So no shame, but even though we lost that, and I'm okay with that, like you are, we still looked awful.
We looked awful. And Matt Ryan looked awful.
Yes, he did.
The thing we held our hat on was at least our offense is good, was awful.
So he should have been in reality. He could have also been fired after that game too, because how bad we looked.
Yeah, but still, Aaron Rodgers, it's no shame.
Okay.
This game though, I know the score makes it look a little better.
That's the same thing with Green Bay.
Matt Ryan was awful.
Yeah,
he was awful. The defense was awful. Miles Davis. Every time somebody touched him, he shrugged them off and ran for like 5 yards. Ran for 10 yards, shrugging people off.
It's gonna be the same thing on Sunday, by the way.
Yeah, great thing Dalvin Cook isn't playing.
Oh well, but he lit us up that one. What?
Yes, it was last year. Game 1 lit us up, but Madison is his backup. Yeah. He's no slouch. He might light us up. But we can't tackle. And as soon as Matt Ryan threw that interception that could have tied the game. I said Matt Ryan.
One of the worst looking decision makings by somebody who's supposed to be a Hall of Famer.
Yep. I said at that point, Matt Ryan got him fired at that throw. That throw was the nail in the coffin.
That's true.
And Matt Ryan at the end of the game even admitted, he said the loss was on me. Loss was on me because I shouldn't have thrown that. The fact is, at least we always say our offense is great. Now our offense isn't good. And then it's our first 100-yard rusher.
Yeah.
100-yard rusher in 2 years.
Oh, by the way, we finally knew how to use Todd Gurley. But shout out to whoever's decision that was.
We got Todd Gurley.
Yeah. let's use him. He's great. I forgot.
Calvin Ridley came back over 100 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Calvin Ridley's a beast.
He's leading that team. I'm sorry. He is their best offensive player.
Yeah, he's a beast. My question to you is, now that Thomas Dimitroff was fired and Dan Quinn,
who's taking over that spot for the meantime?
Taking over what?
The GM.
The GM is I can't think of his name. He was the president.
He's gonna take over both operations until they find somebody.
Rich McKay. Rich McKay is taking over, and of course we said Raheem Morris. What direction do you think the Falcons should go in? Because Matt, he was asked, Arthur Blank, the owner, was asked about Matt Ryan's future, and he was like, I hope he's in our future. Like, he was not committed to Matt Ryan. What do you think the Falcons should do?
It's finally falling. The domino, the first one fell over, and we're down the line right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're waiting for it to catch up.
Right.
That's the first step. Matt Ryan, bro, you only have so long. Right. Even under the contract, they will still pay him at a certain point, but he'll sit the bench and just get the same thing with Eli Manning. Eli was still getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
Benched his butt.
And had Daniel Jones.
Yeah. It's coming. If he doesn't clean it up, which I think he has peaked. I think he can still hang. I think, again, if we can find a good coach and a good offensive coordinator, like we've seen Matt Ryan shine. By the way, Matt Ryan isn't actually. I want to, for you guys out there listening and watching, he's not actually doing bad, awful. He can still finish the season very well. He's like, let's say he's done well 2 games out of 5.
Right.
Not awful.
Right.
So I'm not putting it on him per se. That I feel like with a better coach, he can turn it around. But overall, you need to start planning for the future.
Yeah, he's not good enough to overcome bad coaching. He
is not.
Like Phillip Rivers, if you watch the last Phillip Rivers, the Colts game, Phillip Rivers is awful, and he's the reason they lost that game. like Matt Ryan's not there.
You could tell though that your boy Phillip is on his way out.
He's on his way out.
That's why 1 year deal. That's it.
He's on his way out. I think we forget that Matt Ryan is 35 years old. I think
I did
forget how old he is. And Julio Jones is 31. He'll be 32 at the end of the season. This reign of the Falcons is over with. And the thing is, if you make smart decisions, your rebuild could only take a year. Like the Dolphins they tanked basically last year. Mm-hmm. Now they have their quarterback of the future. They're still competitive. They're not losing. They're competitive.
Yeah.
So if you do your rebuild right,
keep the strong pieces that you have now,
and that's why I
add them young guns. You could win a championship.
Everybody valuable over 30 to me is either cut or traded if you can. So that is Matt Ryan, that's Julio Jones, that's Alex Mack.
I wouldn't gut it that far because you can still have veteran leadership.
No, you got veterans. It's just Alex Mack, Julio, Matt Ryan. I'm not re-signing Ricardo Allen. Not re-signing.
Well, we know that.
Tack McKinley, I'm not re-signing him. I'm not. So Keanu Neal, I'm gonna have a real come to Jesus moment with Keanu Neal if I want to.
Look, bro. At the end of the season, I have to see what your numbers were. Did you do any hard hits? Did you do anything exciting? What were your numbers? If they weren't good at the end of this year, you haven't shown me enough for me to keep you. You have all the potential in the world, which he does. You haven't shown me anything.
Who else am I keep? I'm like the offense, for the most part, the offense is pretty young. So I'm keeping Hayden Hurst. I'm keeping Calvin Ridley. I'm keeping Russell Gage. Jake Matthews is still good. James Carpenter, gone. Chris Lynn, Caleb, I'm fine with
to say this. So as far as Julio being, let's say at the end of the season being 32, he's a receiver. And he still hasn't skipped a beat. You can keep him. He's not going to be.
I would trade him. He's the only person you can trade.
Oh, that's true.
Nobody wants Matt Ryan on that. There's only one team that would take Matt Ryan. One team.
Jets.
49ers.
Really? Why?
Because first of all, Jimmy Garoppolo's playing terrible, and Matt Ryan's best year was under Kyle Shanahan.
Oh, so that's facts.
The only team that would take him. Alex Mack, maybe you'll find a trade value with him, but Julio Jones is your best trade asset. How many people say, let's trade Julio and give him to a contender? How many times we all said that?
I mean, we've said this a lot on this podcast just to see him flourish.
Yeah, so this is the time to do it. Calvin Ridley is good. Russell Gage is good. Our offense still without Julio is still really good.
We have so many weapons on offense for receiver.
Yep.
Yeah.
Todd Gurley. The only reason I say we won't resign Todd Gurley because I think just like Julio, he needs to go to a contender. I think he needs to go to a better situation. I just don't think we're the situation for him.
I think in regards to even if he wanted to stay, I feel like the Falcons are hurting him. Yes. In the sense that if they don't use him, and this is what I mean, if they do what they did with the other games, not the last game, but the other games, and stop using him, his numbers won't show. If they're going to be like, at the end of the season, your numbers weren't there. He wasn't that guy for us like we thought he was going to be because you didn't utilize him.
Right.
He was ready and willing and able.
Right.
And he showed you when you put him in to do the thing, he did what Todd Gurley does.
Did you with Todd Gurley? I would want to keep Todd Gurley. I just don't think we're good enough for him. I don't think
I agree. Best believe you me, he's thinking that.
Yeah, so
he's like, this ain't it.
Yeah, I think we can get a running back in the draft. We've seen like James Robinson, who's an undrafted free agent for Jacksonville. You could get a running back out the draft. But I think if you do smart, first of all, you have to have the coach. You have to have the coach. And this is my thing. Eric Bieniemy, to me, it's either him or bust. Eric Bieniemy is your offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. It's him or bust. If it's not him, I don't really care who you put in that seat. This is what I heard for GMs, and I want to know what you think about this.
Okay.
Louis Riddick, he is a commentator on ESPN. They said that the Falcons, I read an article that the Falcons should make him the GM.
Well, I'm sure they haven't had talks yet, official talks, but
yeah.
At
first, I was like, this is stupid. But then I thought about it. I watched him. I'm listening to him scout because he before he went to ESPN, he was a scout. And I see him, and he's an ex-player, football player. I said the way he talk, he knows what he's talking about. And then who is the 49ers GM? The ex-player. That's
John Lynch.
John Lynch. So if John Lynch can do it and they were in the Super Bowl, why can't Louis Riddick? So I would love a Louis Riddick, Eric Bieniemy combination. Now the only thing about it is you need to scoop up Eric Bieniemy before Houston does.
Yeah. Because they're sitting on the interim coach too. Yeah.
And who would you rather coach, Deshaun Watson or Matt Ryan?
I think Deshaun.
Yes.
But I think the team as a whole, outside of him, it's a headache.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree, but you can gut that team. You can gut. Football, you can change your personnel pretty easy.
You're gutting a lot on that team.
Well, I mean, the good thing is Bill O'Brien gutted a lot of people already.
Oh, he did. He'll help you out, whoever's coming.
Yeah, he helped you out.
So weird. But I would go to the Falcons because, again, we talked about this. Falcons are a Super Bowl contending team right now, at least making it with the roster and team we have right now. If you shape up all coaches and add a culture there, you will win next year. You don't need to – yes, you can tackle a little bit of free agency, resign who you need, and then hit the draft. Boom, you're done. Do your job as a good coach. You will win a ring in the next 2 years. Guaranteed.
No, and then you can even draft a quarter. Let's just say we have the number 1 pick. And if you have the number 1 pick, you're picking Trevor Lawrence.
Yes.
I don't care where you're at. You're picking Trevor Lawrence. And let's say you did, and he sat for a year under Matt Ryan until his contract is up. Well, guess that's the same thing Pat Mahomes did. So that's still not.
Now, a lot of greats.
Aaron Rodgers sat for multiple years.
Mahomes did. Aaron Rodgers did. Kaepernick did.
Yep.
What's his name? Tom Brady did.
Yep. Lamar Jackson did. Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Later on in the season, they wasn't the starter at day one. They came later on. But you see, like a Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's playing pretty well.
Not great, but pretty well.
Great, but he's a rookie. But he's playing. Justin Herbert is playing very well. They're still last game they lost is because the kicker. That's the reason they lost against New Orleans. But he's playing well. I'm just saying, if you have a quarterback to be excited about, like you can be a contending team. I think Trevor Lawrence is really good, and you bring him. You don't even have to start him next year. You can still run Matt Ryan for one more year, whatever, and then have Trevor Lawrence just waiting.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with that is, though, the fans are going to be calling for Trevor Lawrence the entire time. Anything Matt Ryan does, they're going to I
think he's pretty solid at, like, shutting noise out. And plus, you got a little help right now for no fans really in the stands. So.
But also, the new GM and the new coach, the biggest decision I was told for a new head coach is who's going to be your quarterback. They're not going to hitch their wagon on a 35-year-old quarterback who is not mobile.
No, he's not. But he was mobile Super Bowl year.
Yeah, Super Bowl year.
I don't get why you didn't keep that in your arsenal. I don't get it.
They let Matt LaFleur walk. That's why.
Don't get it.
That's why they didn't.
Oh, my goodness. But does Matt Ryan really trust the coaches that much where he has to do what they say? He can't think for himself?
He sounds like it.
It seems like
as soon as they break the pocket, you've seen like Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, like even all these ones, Patrick Mahomes roll out. Matt Ryan just sits there. He's just sitting up.
Get your boy. But I don't know. We'll see. But as far as the rest of the season to wrap this segment up, I don't care. You don't care.
No.
We're back on the Chiefs Ravens. That's it. And we'll see if we go 0-16. I'm actually pretty hyped on that. So we'll see what I don't know.
And we could and let's go into the other team I wanted to talk about. We could do, but the competing team against the Jets is really like the Jets are one thing is Falcons personnel is not a football team. The Jets are a bad.
They're just bad
all around. The Jets just cut their arguably their
best player,
Le'Veon Bell. So he was happy. What do you think about? And he
sent the praise hands on social media. He was happy. He's hyped to be there. And then we posted. Make sure you guys check that out too. Right there on the screen, Third String Podcast on Instagram. Keep you guys up to date in between podcast episodes. But yes,
he signed to your Kansas City Chiefs.
He signed to the Chiefs, and then I want to know why. We talked a little bit off recording this. Why I have my reasons to believe, but why do you think that's a great fit?
This is a great thing because their number one pick, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, is a receiving back and he's not a runner.
But he's killing it.
He's killing it, but once they get to red zone opportunities, he is not built to run it in between the tackles and
he's
get
like 5'2" and like he can play though, man. Yeah,
he can play. He can play open field, 20 to 20. Fine, but actually, he's not a runner. He's not a person that I formation handoff.
No. He's more. I like to call it modern. Like he can do other.
Back in New Orleans, he's like a Darren Sproles player. You wouldn't run Darren Sproles in the I formation.
No,
you would swing him out.
That's a good comparison. Yeah.
Le'Veon Bell gives you an actual runner, an actual the ball threat, and that makes Kansas City, because the one thing Kansas City wasn't that great in on offense is running the ball.
Yes.
Now
that's what they drafted in hope that they would fix it. But yes,
now they have a runner. They have an actual runner. They have red zone opportunities. They have somebody who can go from the 2-yard line and punch it in. I think this is at first I wanted him to go to Miami. I thought Miami for him because it would give him the opportunity to show how good he is. This one, I still think because he has a role that he's going to be the actual running back. Clyde Edwards-Helaire will be the more receiving running back.
Yep.
And, that's why I think it's a great thing. What about you?
I don't have nothing else to add, but Chiefs Kingdom might get another ring. There's no reason to not at least make it to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. And if you go to the Jets side of it, like what the hell are they thinking over there?
Bro. I want to know what's going on in the office.
Yeah.
I really do.
I want to look at Trevor Lawrence. Do you even want to go there?
No.
If they get the number one pick, they're taking him. And then what are you doing with Sam Darnold?
That's what I was about to say. He's not awful. He's not great.
No, but that team is so bad, you don't know if he's good. That team is so bad, man.
Well, last year you saw some stints of him doing pretty good things. So he has some toughness about him.
Before he had mono.
Yes. Which is so weird. He gets mono and he's like, I'm not good anymore. Since then. That's weird.
They only have one other player on the Jets other than Le'Veon Bell and maybe Sam Darnold. And that's Jamison Crowder. Other than that team is just all around not a good football team. It's poorly ran. The coach, Adam Gase, is terrible. That's a team that just needs to gut everything.
I can't wait to see who gets the 0-16 or 1-15 first. Us or them.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think we will have the number one pick because the Jets are so bad.
We'll have the number 2 then. Okay.
That's why I was like, when you was talking about off air, you was talking about Big Ten. I said, let me look at Justin Fields because he might be what we're cutting for instead of Trevor Lawrence because the Jets are awful, man.
Yes, they really are. They don't even really show them on TV. And I like to watch Red Zone, NFL Red Zone. They don't even show them. When they show everybody,
yes,
they don't even really show them because they don't even do enough highlights to even be shown for a second. They don't even really get in the red zone for the red zone to even show them on NFL Red Zone.
Yep. I'm a heavy fantasy football player.
Yeah.
I pick defense. I follow the Jets. I look at who they're playing, and I always pick the defense that's playing against them. Always.
Don't give all your strategies away. No, smart.
I guess not. I guess
Yeah.
that's like because they're playing the Jets next week. So I was like, I didn't drop the Bills.
Okay. That makes sense. But
Adam
well, no, I don't. I think they'll wait. I think they'll wait till the end of the season because they're just bad in general. So
like, if I'm an interim coach, why would I even want to take on that job? Because there's
you don't. You don't even want to see it.
Yeah, there's no chance of me winning this job because this team is so bad.
See, I think the Falcons have a chance. Say if our interim coach can do something, I think we could still, because again, you have that extra playoff spot. Yes. We can still rally to make a little something. The chances are very slim, but they are possible because you made a decision.
Yes.
But under Quinn, you were done. But you still have a small fighting chance to do so. So, but Jets, you don't have any.
Yeah,
you're done.
The Jets have the number one pick.
They do. So, but yes. You want to segue onto those Braves?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, man. Chop on.
Yeah,
man.
Atlanta was about to do in Atlanta. game 2.
3. Well, game two. If you're talking about that, yeah.
Game 2, because I didn't watch the last game. Game 5 was last night. I didn't watch it.
Game 4 was last night.
I mean, game 5 is tonight. So game 4, I didn't watch game 4, and that's because game 3 and game 2. I watched game 2, and when I saw the comeback, Ozzie Albies, when he fumbled that line drive straight to him, and then the next hit.
That bothered me, yes.
It was a line drive, and then they were down by 1 point. Luckily, it got hit to Austin Riley, and he got into third base and got the last out. But I didn't feel great about it. I felt like Atlanta was going to Atlanta. And then the next game, I look at the score, and I think it was 11-0.
First inning, it got to 8-0. And we didn't even get a chance. And it was for a while there were no outs. Then it got to 2 outs, and they're still running up the score. I'm like, bro, you need one more.
Yes. You just need run more. Outright was terrible.
Yeah, he was. He really was. He really was.
It was. So I saw it on my phone, and I was just like, oh my God! It was the same thing. So it ended up 11-0. The good thing about it is the score ended 15-3.
I mean, if you call that, I want to see you add a silver lining to this. Please do.
The lining is if you go on to the rest of the game, it was 4-3. So they stopped. Like it was a regular game. So it wasn't like the whole game. They were just.
Oh, okay. Wow. I've never seen anybody look on the bright side like that. Like, forget your 11 runs that you have. This is halftime. We won the halftime portion of it. Or we still lost it, but yeah.
And then the whole time I told myself, well, we do have the offense. There is a chance.
We do.
We have the offense to come back.
Yeah. I just wasn't going to watch the rest of that game to see. And I'm glad I didn't. But, hey, the next game, though.
Next game, you watch the next game. I didn't because I was already done.
Yes.
Atlanta people, we have a thing. When stuff like this happens, I feel like I've seen this movie before. I don't need to see it again. I wasn't going to watch it. You watch. Tell me what
happened. Starting pitching was interesting. He was the complete underdog. I forgot who the pitcher was. He's only pitched in 23 games in his career.
Right.
His parents were there the first time they saw him pitch this year. His first season, I believe. But yeah, his first game they saw him pitch in the majors. He beats Kershaw. Arguably, we know he's a Hall of Famer.
And that's what kind of scared me because when I saw that Kershaw was starting, I was like,
I was scared. I was scared hearing that the game before that Kershaw was going to start at the time of recording last night. Yes. I was terrified because I know how great he is and can be. So, but hey, our pitcher went in there, did his thing. Not only, people don't see this, not only did he win that game and he killed it, he saved the bullpen.
Yep.
Because if he did awful, you're going to have to dig into that thing.
Yep. And you're going to have to put Max Fried has to be the starter this game because
he saved it.
Have no choice but to put Max Fried in there.
The man did his job, which is incredible.
And he's a rookie and did his job against one of the best pitchers in baseball.
A Hall of Famer. And then they interviewed him and was like,
yep, Bryce Wilson.
Right. What was this like? How did you do this? He's like, to me, and this was such a cool response. To me, like, it's the playoffs and all that stuff. Like, I don't see that. I just play baseball.
Yeah, I just play.
I just play like it's a normal game. And I'm like, that's amazing.
The problem is this was huge. This was a huge
monumental.
If we lose this game, first of all, Dodgers have all the momentum, and we have to start our best pitcher now because we can't wait on short rest.
No.
We can't wait.
And the man had the amazing audacity to just be like, I just played my game.
Yes.
And won.
Say we got AJ Minter, who's never started a game.
Yeah.
But he averaged about an inning and 2/3.
Yeah.
We're going to do a bullpen rotation at every 1 or 2 innings. We're going to.
I'm okay with it. Do a collective, close this out, because I think that we, like you agree, our starting pitching is the iffy part, which I also add not even really somebody to save the game, but even our closers, that's a little shaky. It's not bad, actually. It's just not as strong as I would like.
Right.
But just the rotation in the midst of the game is our strongest suit, which is the best part because that's the longest part of the game is rotating, like you're saying, if we do every 2 innings. That's our strength, besides batting and all that stuff, our offense. But I think our strengths can win us a World Series. They're that good. If we can just manage to get past the starters, which we saw Game 3, that can be uphill climb. But if you can overcome that, we have the strength with our strengths to win the whole thing, at least make it. And we're 1 game away.
And I was shocked. I was shocked to see, like I said, I didn't watch Game 4. And to get the notification on my phone, we won 10-2. So it wasn't even a close game to win 10-2. And I told myself I wasn't going to do it to myself. I'm not watching the Braves because I don't want to do it to myself. And
by the way, do you have all notifications on for Third String Podcast Instagram when we post? Does it come to your phone?
Does it come to mine?
Yeah.
No.
Oh my goodness. You need.
Yeah, I guess I do.
Turn on. This goes for Daryl and everybody listening and watching. Turn on all post notifications so when we post, you'll be notified immediately. Because if so, you would have known we won 10-2.
Oh, that's true. I don't have notifications for anybody, so I guess I need for a Third String Podcast. I need my news.
I mean, yes. Yeah.
But to see that, but let me say, I did, on Instagram. That's the first post I did see. Was we won 10-2.
Yeah.
And to see that after we had as Atlanta fans, we have so much heartbreak. We have the 60-win Atlanta Hawks team. We have the 16 Super Bowl contending Atlanta Falcons. We have the Braves last year.
That's why we ain't celebrating yet.
That's why we ain't celebrating. We have, if you're a Georgia fan, I know you're not a Georgia fan, but Georgia fan, we were up against Alabama in the national championship game.
So sad. Yeah.
And Calvin Ridley catches Tua Tagovailoa, throws it to Calvin Ridley to do the game-winning touchdown. We have so much letdown that once I saw it, I was like, man, I don't want no parts of this.
Hey, when it hits the bottom of, let's say, the 9th, and we close it out, that's when I'm celebrating.
Yeah, that's when I'm celebrating too.
Not a second before.
Me too. I will watch the World Series because I'm going to enjoy it even if I lose. I think we have a great shot because I think we're better than Tampa Bay.
Yes, if they manage to close it out, yes.
Yeah, if they close it out, I think we're better than them. But
that's what I said to somebody that responded to the post on Instagram. Shout out to them. They were like, please send those prayers and that fire that you guys are initiating pretty much to Tampa. Hopefully we can see you guys in the World Series. And I'm pretty sure Daryl would agree with me on this, that we would want that matchup.
Oh, yeah.
So
I don't want the Astros to be in the World Series.
No.
I don't want to celebrate cheaters. Like, and people was like, they're so, going through the hurdles of being the most hated team. This is their fault.
Yeah, like, it's literally your fault.
The Astros. So I'm happy that I hope the Rays sweep them. Right now it's the second inning in the 0-0.
Okay.
The Rays sweep them because I don't want to see them in the World Series. I don't think they deserve it, especially not the following year.
Yeah.
Don't deserve it. But I'm super excited. I think if we could close the Dodgers out, I think we have a great chance to win.
The Dodgers are the best team in the playoffs.
Yep. Still playing. Yeah.
Still playing. Oh, even before, not playing, still playing, all that. They were the best.
They are the best. Dodgers,
and we are handling them.
Dodgers were always my fear. They were my fear last year.
I know, and it's true.
I said we had the easiest road to the World Series when when we lost to the Cardinals and then the Nationals beat the Dodgers. I just threw my hands up. I just threw you won't get a shot like this again.
And we said that we should have had multiple times. We should have had United and the Braves having same season parades.
Yep.
Just like Lakers could have the Dodgers.
Yep. Or Boston did it.
I mean, they've done it.
They've done it where their teams have won Red Sox, Celtics,
and their hockey team.
And Bruins. Yep.
So crazy, man.
That's crazy.
Man, I want one day, we'll I promise you, Daryl, we'll know that experience one day, even though we don't have a hockey team anymore on a professional level. We had the Georgia Swarm win. We had United win. We had the Dream get Final Four before.
Mm-hmm.
You had Georgia in the
Dream was in the championship.
Yeah, true. You had Georgia being the national championship. We've had the Falcons being in the Super Bowl. One year, it'll just perfectly align.
It'll just click.
It'll just click. I don't know. But shout out to Boston and LA's and the teams that have experienced that, because that's probably nuts.
Yeah.
Every year, bro. Every year you're just celebrating.
Yep.
Or I mean, every season.
Yep.
That's crazy. But hopefully we can close it out in regards to Braves. Tonight at the time of recording. Hopefully we can just finish it. All the experts thinks we will.
Super late game, 9:00 game.
Oh shoot, that's gonna end at 1.
Yeah, that's a super late game.
That's gonna end at 1 a.m. But I will probably be up so I can stay up to date on it. So I got you on that. And plus I'll post, guys, on Instagram. Once again, give us a follow on there. Third String Podcast on Instagram and 3RD String Pod on Twitter. All that stuff. But yeah, what else do we have to talk about?
I just want to talk about we have a big college football game this weekend, Georgia and Alabama.
Yep.
Nick Saban I guess he had a false positive because now he's negative, is what they're reporting.
I don't believe that, but yes.
It's just kind of convenient, isn't it? It's kind of very convenient.
It's perfect timing, and hey, whatever.
He said, "Nah, I'm not sitting out. I'm good. I'm not sitting out."
He's way too powerful.
And so I think this is going to be an interesting game. I'm interested to see how good actually Georgia is. Because I was shocked.
You'll know by that game.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I thought Georgia – I was shocked Georgia beat Auburn the way they did because they
Auburn to me hasn't been super legit since Cam.
Right. So I think this will be a good game. I'm excited to see this game.
Yeah.
I won't give a score or nothing because I have no idea how to go.
All I'll say in regards to that is you'll just see what George is made of. I don't think you guys have really been challenged with this third string quarterback.
Right.
And to see what he is and all that stuff, or what you guys are as a team. I think, though, this will show it because Mac Jones is playing pretty darn well.
Yeah, he's playing. And they still have, was it Jaden Whittle? The receivers of Alabama still.
They still have a super squad. So,
Harris at running back. They still have a a really good team. So I'm eager. That game is at 8:00 on 8:00 on Saturday. I'm very excited to see that. But that I just wanted to put that out there.
Okay. All right. Well, that's perfect. And with that being said, I think that'll do it for us.
Yep, that's it.
All right, perfect. Short, sweet, and simple, but jam-packed. I believe you guys like it like that. That rhymed. Wow. That was pretty cool, but it worked. But yeah, again, with that being said, make sure you guys check us out again, Third String Podcast on Instagram and 3RD String Pod on Twitter. Also on the screen in the description down below for YouTube, SoundCloud, YouTube. You guys can follow our social medias too as well, and everything that we also said as far as social links. Make sure you guys give a nice thumbs up on and a like on SoundCloud, a thumbs up here on YouTube, all that jazz, and subscribe and follow us on YouTube, SoundCloud, YouTube once again. But we'll catch you guys next week for episode 53. We want to know who you guys think we should dedicate that one to, because it's always fun though to see who Daryl comes up with. So we'll see next week, episode 53. So yeah, we'll catch you guys next time, and y'all be safe and vote.
Please vote.
Yes. All right, y'all. Take care.